Hollow Knight is a 2D side-scrolling platformer with some of the hardest boss fights in indie game history. A fun yet challenging experience. And I decided to play it and beat its true ending. The game begins as you'd expect it would. You kind of learn the ropes of the game. A little bit of platforming, a little bit of easy enemies, and just a feel for how the game's going to be. After reaching the top, we come across the main area of the game. This is Hallownest, and it's where the game takes place. Hallownest is a vast map with 15 different areas, 47 bosses, a variety of fun NPCs, and challenging platforming. We begin in Dirtmouth, a small, quiet town with one resident, the Elderbug. And goes on a spiel about how lonely he is, but we don't really care. So, we continue on, locating a well, which we jump down right away. Here, we end up in a new area. This place is called the Forgotten Crossroads, and is a dull, gray area with no life into it. Continuing on in the Forgotten Crossroads, we come across an interesting building. This is a Temple of the Black Egg. It is the main reason why we came to Hallownest. You see, in the beginning of the game, it opens up to something or someone chained up. And this something or someone awakens. It is here where we first see the Black Egg. Our true calling. So, our character heads out.
Okay.
And to be honest, I was not prepared for any of this. Continuing on in the Forgotten Crossroads, I look around to see what else I can find.
Perfect. Do I go up or down? I'll go up.
So far, there hadn't really been any tough enemies, and I figured that's how it was going to be for the rest of Forgotten Crossroads. Well,
Oh, whoops. Ow. I did not
maybe not.
Oh my lord.
Trust me, I get better. I promise. But in the meantime, I have to head back to see if I can beat this relatively easy enemy. But wait, what is that? Well, I'll tell you. This is a shade, and it is what happens when you die. Killing it gives you back your currency and allows you to replenish more soul. However, if you die without collecting your shade, you lose all of your money. And I cannot tell you how many times that happened to me during this run. And that's another death. Well, I guess I should go back and... There we go. Right here we say we first go. These little guys are very important. And, with each one saved, we get some pretty neat rewards.
Hoo-hoo. Hi. Oh, shoot. Someone's giving me money.
Yeah, they're pretty worth it. Anyways, continuing our adventure, we find someone new. This is Cornifer, and we go to him for all of our issues that revolve around maps. He gives us maps every time we find him in a new location so that we can see where we're going. Honestly, one of the better NPCs. And with my new map in hand, I head over to a place called the Stag Station. Here, we meet our form of fast travel, the Stag. And he is beautiful. I love this guy. After meeting our Stag, we finally stumble across our first boss. Yeah, unsurprisingly, this boss was pretty easy. there's no way that the rest of the bosses are going to be a lot harder, right?
Oh my gosh, he's doing so much damage. Oh my god, I'm cooked. I'm so cooked. I'm dead!
Yeah, maybe not. Anyways, after getting done with the girl's mother, we do a little bit more exploring until we find a shack with a new bug. This guy's name is Sly, and he's pretty important as a character. He owns a shop in Dirtmouth where you can buy all sorts of stuff, like mask shards, keys, and even charms. Heading to the right out of Sly's shop, we find another area, where we find Cornifer's wife. Here, she sells a charm that lets you see yourself on the map, a quill that lets you write down new areas, and different markers that you can place on your map. After getting acquainted with everyone at Dirtmouth, I head back to the Forgotten Crossroads to see what else I could find. And, with map in hand, I stumble across a new area. Little did I know, I was about to be fighting a pretty interesting boss. I'm cooked. Yeah, that was kind of rough. However, after getting my grounds, I headed back and took him down pretty easily. Albeit a little scared. With the false knight destroyed, I could finally move on to the next area. Heading to the left, I found a pretty interesting building and decided to go inside. Here, I found the Snow Shaman.
Okay, good.
Bro's kinda creepy. After having a little chat with him, he decides to give me a new power, which I take pretty quickly and get knocked out from. Okay. Here I unlocked my first spell, the Vengeful Spirit. One of the only ways you can do long range damage in this game. Wait, why am I behind bars? Not cool, Snow Shaman. Not cool. Anyways, after this I do a little bit of easy platforming until I come across a boss where I can use my little vengeful thing. This took way too long. And we can finally escape. I'm pretty glad to be out of there, and I can equip my first charm. These are a very crucial part of the game, and allow your character to become much, much stronger. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyways, directly after this, I decided to get lost for a solid hour and a half. I'm not even kidding, this took so long. Why? Eventually, however, I finally stumbled across the new area. This is Greenpath, a lush, beautiful environment with tons of new enemies, platforming, and fun challenges. And I was already getting beat up. Like actually. Anyways, this is Greenpath. Hey, never mind, you already get it. Still though, we travel on until we come face to face with a pretty important character. This is Hornet, and she is extremely important to this game's storyline. However, I'm not going to get into that right now. Just know that she's going to come up a lot later. Eventually, after exploring a bit more Greenpath, we come across a place that looks eerily like the Forgotten Crossroads. And this is where we meet Zote. I hate Zote. This guy gets himself into the worst predicaments ever and expects you to save him. And after you save him, he acts like he's all high and mighty and better than you. I'm the one who saved you. There is no way that you can be acting like this right now. Anyways, we take down this bug thing and reclaim our honor. It was at this point where I decided I need to do a little bit more exploring. So I set out into Greenpath to see if I could find anything interesting, or maybe even another boss. And I got my wish when I stumbled upon this corridor. It was here where I would fight Hornet. This did not go over well.
Stop! Stop! Oh my gosh, she's doing so much damage. Oh my god. And I'm dead here. Gosh, how much health does she have? She doesn't give you a chance to heal. She keeps attacking. This is so...
Eventually, I finally beat her and unlocked a new item. Alright, maybe that was a little bit too dramatic for an early boss fight, but at the time, that thing really got to me. Continuing on with the gameplay though, we unlocked our second stag station. I love this dude. This next section takes place in the Fog Canyon, and if I'm being honest, I hate this place. It has no really interesting elements except for the jellyfish, and it's kind of just a pain. So we just go through it as quickly as we can. It's after this though where we find an actual interesting place. This is the Fungal Wastes, and it is my favorite area in the entire map. Although it does have kind of a gross look to it, the enemies are fun, interesting, and have a lot of character behind them. Anyways, we continue going on until we find a new area. Here, we find another NPC. Who is this dude, bruh? After going up and talking to him, we find out that his name is Leg Eater. And he asked us to give him some Geo for something nice. We do, and he just... yeah, alright. After dealing with that nuisance, we head on and fight these pretty easy mushroom guys. So after handling them no problem, we continue on until we find Hornet again. I tried to follow her, but I cannot cross that. So I decided to come back later. And as I left, I ran into an area where the ground started to shake. So I prepared for a boss fight. And there... what? Oh. It's just a friend. Okay. Be fighting a boss, I guess I can continue on and face my first Mantis. We're gonna be seeing a lot of these guys, and killing a lot of them too.
Sigma.
That was brutal. Continuing on, we find the Mantis village, where we kill a couple more. Yeah, these guys don't catch a break. But, in my defense, this is the area that caused me most of my pain and suffering in the early game. You'll see why later. Continuing on, we find a new item, the Mantis Claw, which allows us to wall jump, letting us get into those hard-to-reach areas. And this was around the time I made my biggest mistake yet. Challenging the Mantis Lords. Little did I know, this would be a multi-day process, where I would keep trying over and over again, and not really winning. But F it, we ball.
It's fine. I'm just gonna challenge these guys and get money. Alright, starting off with the BS move gives you not good. Dude, oh my gosh. I wish that there was like a telltale sign for like where he was gonna spawn. Instead of just spawning randomly, dude. Like that. What?
Well,
Oh my gosh! Hey, dude, are you serious? Dude, this game is.
this was the moment I realized I was not prepared to fight these guys whatsoever. So I set out to see if I could find anything else that I could do before fighting them. However, I didn't realize I was stumbling across a completely different boss. One that would take me just as long, if not longer, to beat. Cue the music. And after about 2 hours of trying, I finally beat him. And in return, got a Mask Shard. This was crucial to beating the Mantis Lords, as it gave me an extra hit. With this, I was ready. I was ready to beat them. So, I headed out and made my way back to the Mantis village. I had a newfound confidence. I feel like I could do anything. I feel like I could win this fight. I gave it my all. I did everything I could, but I still failed. Still, I came back again and again, looking to fight, looking to win. It felt like I just could not stop, dying over and over again. It was rough. And it really started getting to me.
Okay. Okay. This game is kind of BS sometimes. Dude, what? What What is happening? Dude, whatever you'll take a minute, you go up there.
It was at this point where I began to lose hope. Could I really beat Hollow Knight's true ending? Could I really face up against these bosses? I wasn't sure. But I decided to get back up, get back in there, and try one more time. And after many hours, I finally did it. And the next stage was unlocked. So, I set out, ready for my next adventure.